All right, hey guys, Dr. Sean here. We're going to talk about a new study that came out this past week describing whether or not we should eat eggs. They're talking, oh my gosh, eggs are bad for us again. Now, we go back 40 years ago, eggs were good. And then all of a sudden, nope, they're bad. And then, nope, well, they're good again. And now, oh, nope, now they're bad. This is why I do videos right here, right? How do you know? How do you really know? So let's look at the argument. Right, let's look at what they're saying here. They're telling us that, okay, eggs are high in cholesterol and eggs are high in saturated fat. So let's go through this and look and see, right? Because the quality of the egg obviously is going to determine a lot of different things, but let's go for the basics. Eggs have cholesterol in them. There's no doubt about that. They absolutely do. But so do you. You make it. You make over 95% of the cholesterol in your body is produced in your body. It does not come out of your diet. You get so little out of your diet that they took it off food labels. Go pick up a box of anything, flip it around. Cholesterol's not listed anymore. The FDA removed it a couple years ago because they could find no plausible link to diseases that we thought were tied to it. Okay, so we're learning what? What does this mean to us? You can move your cholesterol from your diet 5%, up or down, 5%. That's what it's going to move. Now that may be 15, 20, 25 points in somebody. And I understand that that could be substantial for someone for numbers purposes. But for health purposes, it's not that big a deal. So then we come back to the egg and we say, okay, well, it's got this cholesterol in it. It's got to be bad for me. But what they're missing in their study, what they're not telling you, is that the yolk that they blame also has an extremely high amount of lecithin. Now, what is that? It's an emulsifier. It's like a detergent or a soap. What's it do? Breaks down cholesterol and helps it get out of the body. So when you eat the yolk, you get the cholesterol, but the lecithin that's there stops you from absorbing huge amounts of it and pushes it out. Huh. It's like nature gave you a way to protect yourself. That's not too bad a deal. It's also loaded with B vitamins and a whole host of other minerals, and the egg is what the RDA for protein is based on. The World Health Organization several years ago stated that the egg is the perfect protein in the food chain. It's the best thing we've got. Nothing else is even close to it. Not chicken, not fish, not turkey, not some kind of plant. Nothing is close to it. So we look at that and think, wow, it's a great protein. It's got fat, but the fat tends to be good fat. It's omega-3. It can be saturated. I'm not against saturated fat. Never have been. That's a whole nother video. It's got some cholesterol in it, but I'm not against having that because I know what cholesterol does in the human body. And this is the big thing, guys. Every cell in the human body can produce some cholesterol, with the exception of the brain. The liver produces lots of it to export when other tissues need it. Now, right away you think, wait a minute, it makes more because tissues need it? What do we do with it in the body? What's the main function of cholesterol in the body? It's used to make stress hormones. Okay, so if I go to my doctor and my cholesterol numbers are up, I have heart disease? No, you have stress going on in the body. And the body's telling you, man, I need more hormones to deal with that stress. I need more fire trucks to put out my fire. Make more. And if you need more fire trucks and life is very stressful or there's some kind of inflammation going on in the body, whether it's mechanical, emotional, nutritional, whatever it may be, the body says, look, I need more trucks. So what's it going to do with your cholesterol numbers? Up they go. Now, it just happens to be that people who tend to be overweight, who have diabetes, who have other health issues, tend to have higher cholesterol levels. Doesn't that make sense? Right? See, we're always quick to blame it for, oh, it's the reason. But here's my question for you, and maybe a point I'll point out to you. We've been decreasing cholesterol levels in our society now for the past 40 years. We've got roughly 50 million people on some type of a statin or cholesterol lowering drug. And they absolutely lower it. There's not even a debate whether they lower it or not. So if just common sense kicks in, if we're medicating all of the high-risk people who are at high risk for stroke, high risk for heart disease, high risk for any kind of cardiovascular incident, if we're medicating them, then what should the cardiovascular incidents be doing? What should the heart attacks? They should be coming down, shouldn't they? But they're not. They're flatlined. The past 3 years especially, we've seen no gain whatsoever in our attempts to decrease or reduce heart attack and stroke risk. None in the past 3 years. As a matter of fact, we've lost life expectancy in the past 3 years. It's the first time since World War I this has ever happened in our history. And we're not fighting a world war right now where we're killing off all of our young. So you look at that and you think to yourself, what's going on? Maybe we're barking up the wrong tree. Guys, the egg is not the enemy. Common sense, maybe. So use it. You can have an egg or two. I'm not that worried about it. If the rest of your diet is in a shambles, it will cause more harm to you than a dozen eggs ever will. The key is balance. Keep it balanced. Digest the food you're putting in. Let Mother Nature take its course. Take care of that body that you're living in. If you do that, you're going to lead a long, quality-filled life. I'm Dr. Sean, the Robin Hood of Healthcare.